Here's how to explain if somebody has hurt you psychologically. Hey everyone, for those who don't know me, my name is Joe Nucci. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, and I've been thinking a lot about this question because physical harm is obvious, but psychological harm, it's a little bit more difficult to communicate. So I've developed this 3-part psychological harm formula for you to use however it might be helpful for you. The first thing we want to do is we want to calculate what I call raw harm. And the way you calculate raw harm is you think about the change that has happened since the action was taken on you. And you want to think about your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors. And you want to take these 3 constructs and you want to think about the duration of the change. So for example, if someone insults you, it may hurt your feelings and give you some self-conscious thoughts for a little while, but maybe it doesn't actually change your behavior at all. That means that your raw harm score is going to be pretty low. Now, after that, what you want to do is you want to think about your adjusted harm. And the way you calculate your adjusted harm is you take your raw harm, but then you want to multiply it by what I call the vulnerability factor. And the vulnerability factor is important to consider here because people are very subjective in how sensitive they are. There's environmental factors, there's mental health factors, maybe they have a personality disorder. There's just so much to consider here. So you want to be able to adjust the raw harm and you want to multiply it somewhere between 0.5 and 1.5. If you don't think that the raw harm needs to be adjusted, just multiply it by 1 and then the adjusted harm is going to be equal to the raw harm. So then what you want to do is you want to calculate the actual harm, and the actual harm is equal to the adjusted harm minus the atonement. When it comes to psychological harm, when people make amends, when they make atonement, when they apologize, or there's some sort of gesture made to you, that can actually be really, really healing. I've treated patients that have held on to resentment and bitterness and hurt for years, but then they've been able to have conversations with the people who hurt them, and a lot of really great things have come out of it. I mean, the whole practice of restorative justice is based on this exact principle. Now, a lot of you asked about this because of my responsibility formula, which is responsibility is equal to the impact minus the capacity times the compassion. How do we gauge harm? Particularly if there's not any physical abuse, communicating emotional hurt and harm can be really, really difficult. And so hopefully this 3-step process has given you some insight on how to think about things. And as always, keep on asking me questions. I love doing these common replies and making videos that are relevant to you.